How are you planning to create and provide jobs for our students and you young adults in Bradford, West Willowberry?
First off, young people today are leaving school with an unconscionable debt. What we are proposing to do, I mean, people know, look, I'm getting a lot of nods with that right now. People have children, people have grandchildren who are graduating from university, and how can you start your career? How do you start your life when you're burdened with that much debt overall? What we're proposing to do is to take the OSAP loan program, and we will convert it into grants. It will be retroactive, so that any student who is still burdened by the long-term debt they incurred while attending college or university will have those debts forgiven. That's number one. So we're able to allow them at least to begin to start a career on an even footing. The advancement, I mean, when we're talking about investing, the projects that we're talking about, both in infrastructure, in hospital development, in our roads, we will be stimulating the economy. That in itself will be a job generator. All of those having the spin-off capacity. When we cut capacity that's being proposed by some people on the panel here, when we cut our infrastructure spending, we not only eliminate the jobs, the direct jobs that those cuts affect, but the spin-off jobs in the support corporations, the rest of them.
Well, one of the most important things that we've done for our young workers is increase the minimum wage. We've increased it so that they can afford to live, and we've also been providing free tuition. 250,000 students now have access to free tuition through the expanded OSAP. And that makes such a difference, especially to single moms. We've had tens of thousands of single moms sign up for free OSAP. They've gone back to school, and if you read the research, it says that the single determining factor, the single most important determining factor in a child's success in life is determined by their mother's level of education. So by getting these single moms back into school and increasing their education level, it helps their students and generations afterwards. So the free tuition is just so important. The other piece, specifically about jobs, is there are a lot of programs that are at the municipal level, either with the town or with the region, that help support students looking for, or young people, youth looking for work. And a lot of the money that comes from that is downloaded from the gas tax that we have, that comes from the province down to municipality. Thanks.
Well, to create jobs for young people coming out of school in Bradford, what we need to do is we need to work with businesses so that they can create those opportunities for students who are just entering the job market. And we have to do that by working with businesses, not against them. And while Bill 148 does provide a living wage to people who are entering the job market, the way it was introduced made it harder for small businesses to be able to create new jobs. And so we need to work with our businesses so that we can create more and more opportunities for young people entering the job market. We can do that also by cutting red tape, so they can spend more money on wages as opposed to on regulations, dealing with their regulations and compliance. We also need to work with students who are in school as they're looking at what kind of opportunities they want to access in the job markets, but what their opportunities could be. And there are a lot of opportunities in areas in the skilled trades. We've got to work with guidance counselors so we can educate students so that they can start transitioning into the right kinds of roles for them. There's a huge skills gap in Ontario. It's valued at almost $25 billion, and so we need to work with students while they're still in school to do that.
The question here is, why don't we have jobs? Where are all the businesses? What has happened with small pop and dad business that used to be the backbone of the economy? What has happened with our middle class? Is it possible that the government just helped destroy that middle class? Shouldn't we just look into, let's remove some of those administrative burdens and taxes so businesses can flourish?
We absolutely need to bring business back to Bradford, and and in our surrounding area. And if there was an easy switch, I'm sure we would have figured out which one to flip. But it's not one, it's many. And it's a combination of all of the things that have been talked about so far. Things like reducing the red tape, reducing the hydro costs, working with small business, and making it work for them to come to Bradford. You know, the infrastructure and the highway that we talked about earlier on has also got a lot to play with that. One of the things that the Trillium Party is going to agitate strongly for is to reduce the wait time from someone who graduates from a trade school until he becomes a full apprentice. You know, right now he graduates from school and he spends the first 3 years getting coffee for everybody until finally after about the 4th year he gets his paperwork and he can start making you know, the real money, if you will.
Thank you.
You know, I think that we've got to get him there soon. Thank you.
Rebuttals, anybody? Going once? Going twice? So American.